Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to build a fun app in Android using Jetpack Compose that showcases a list of dogs. Each dog item will display some basic information, and when clicked the item will expand to show more details, like the dog hobbies. We're also going to talk about the UI theming and how to customize fonts in Android Studio, so let's get started. First, let's jump into the main activity class. This is the entry point for our app. We're using set content here to set up our UI with Jetpack Compose. Inside the onCreate method, we're setting a theme for the app by wrapping our content in Woof theme. The surface composable ensures that we're using the correct background color defined in the theme, filling the entire screen. Now let's talk about the main structure of our app. We're using a scaffold here, which is a layout component that provides the basic structure for the app, including the top bar and content area. The Woof top bar app bar is displayed at the top, and below it we have a lazy column, which is used to display a scrollable list of dog items. Each dog item in the list is represented by the dog item composable. Inside this we have a card that holds the dog's information. The layout of the dog item is made up of a row for basic dog details like the dog's name, age, and photo, along with expandable buttons that toggle the dog's hobbies. The dog information is displayed with the dog icon and dog information composables. The dog icon shows the dog's image, and the dog information displays the name and age. You'll notice we're using string resource to retrieve string for the name, age, and other text values, ensuring localization support. Let's move on to the expandable part of the dog. When you click the dog item button, it toggles the expanded state. If the state is true, the dog's hobbies are displayed with the dog hobby composable. We'll use the spacer to ensure proper spacing between the element. Now let's talk about the Woof top app bar. This is the top bar of the app, which contains the logo and the app name. We use a row here to position the logo and the text horizontally. The logo is displayed with the image composable, and we apply some padding and size adjustments to make sure it fits perfectly. Before moving on to customize fonts, let's quickly talk about the dog item button. This button can click to expand or collapse the dog item. It uses an icon button with an expand more icon. The button also rotates depending on whether the item is expanded or collapsed, giving a nice visual cool cue to the user. Before we get on to UI theming, I want to show how the app works. As you can see, we can scroll the app to reveal the last dog on the list, and if we click the drop down arrow here, the dog's bio or the about or the hobby that we were talking about will drop down for each dog. Now let's talk about UI theming. With Jetpack Compose, theming is really important to maintain consistent look and feel across your app. In the theme, we define the primary and secondary colors, typography styles, and shapes. You can see that we're using Material 3 components like card, icon, button, and text, which automatically adapt to the colors and styles defined in our theme. Now let's get to the part that you guys have been asking about, and that's how to add custom fonts to your Android app. It's really easy in Android Studio, and we'll go through it step by step. First, you need to download the font styles you want to use. You can typically get these from Google's website. These will typically be .ttf files or OTF files. Once you have the font files, place them in the res/font directory. If the directory does not exist, create it manually. Just right-click on the res folder, select New Android Resource Directory, and choose the font as a resource type. Once you've added the font files to res/font directory, the next step is to add the font to your theme. You can do this by updating the typography class in your theme setup. Here we're going to reference the font resource and use it for specific text styles like H1, H2, body, etc. In the typography class, you'll specify your custom font by creating a font family object that points to the font file. You can use different fonts for headings and body text, and once set up, all your text composables will use this font by default. And that's it. You've now learned how to customize fonts in Android Studio. Apply UI theming and create expandable lists of dog items using Jetpack Compose. Before we wrap up, don't forget to hit that like button, and if you found this video helpful, and make sure you like and subscribe for more Android development tips and tutorials. Leave a comment if you have any questions, and I'll see you in the next one.